So after doing the BMW spark plugs yesterday, the car drives a lot better. Usually in the morning, it's kind of felt a little sluggish, and I feel like it was because of those plugs that have like an alternating miss or something like that. But and when it was cold, it was really awful because it was probably down like at least 2 cylinders. Is what I'm thinking was happening, but you know, it drives a lot better, and then I don't have to worry about it actually like accelerating and everything. But yeah, there's the throttle cable for the cruise control was making a throttle stick, which was really sketchy, so I threw a zip tie on that, because I think you have to replace the whole throttle cable. Because it has like a little rubber like grommet this one's all worn off. It looks like there's like supposed to be a lip to hold it in, but I just threw a zip tie on it. It works good now. So I'm just going over the house to put the air filter on the diesel on my F250, and then I'll probably change the oil really quick. I need to talk to my dad's friend because he wants me to do his tranny fluid and his spark plugs on his 05. I think it's an F250, but it's a V10. So and change the tranny filter like I did to my grandma's. So and another thing that's really nice is the AC, and this works a lot better now that it's like actually running on all cylinders. I feel like because it's all like the AC is controlled by like vacuum, I think. So when it was like alternating, like that alternating miss, it kind of like was like not, there's like more load on the engine because there wasn't enough cylinders to actually for the AC to be happy. So now the AC feels great. Before it felt a little bit like tired, but I think that's just because of the whole vacuum issue. So now the AC works really good in here. Before I was like, yeah, it works, it's like kind of works, but now like it works. So you know, like car stuff, you could have a totally non-related issue, but it affects a different system. So I'm going to go change the oil, then I need to go pull that diff out of the S13 and some other stuff. I'm not sure what's happening today. I haven't really heard from Trevor what we're doing. I may have to replace a front main on that S14. I'm not exactly sure, but we'll see. It's a nice drive to my grandma's, and it's not too hot today. It's only 80 because it rained last night. Like I was watching a movie, and then all of a sudden it just started like pouring. So yeah, that was pretty nice, the rain. It was nice that it didn't rain when I was doing my backyard, because that would have really made things worse than they already were, because I had to move all that dirt. It would make the dirt more heavy and stuff. So I'm gonna take an exit and see you guys in a bit when I'm changing my air filter. Okay, so I let the air filter dry. I was busy yesterday, so I didn't put oil on it or put it on because I didn't have the clamp or anything like that. I don't think this can's out of oil. Yeah. I might have to get another thing of oil. Uh-oh. Two cans down. Thought I had. I guess that's all I have. Looks like I got pretty decent coverage on it. I wish I had another can, because I'd spray probably a little bit more on there, because it's a lot, kind of needs it. Well, I guess that's all she wrote. That's funny, because some people have the perception that it's just like, it's a truck, so don't clean anything. But, you know, I like to keep my stuff kind of decently clean. I do use it for what it's made for. Like, I use this to haul all that dirt and do all that work and tow cars around and stuff, but I mean, you can't just let your stuff get all crappy. If you do that, it lets you down. Probably need to wash this bay, because it's dirty. Usually it's clean. Look at all this. Look at all this. All dirty. Yeah, I'll probably have to wash this bay a little bit, because it is definitely dirty. And it'll get dirty again, but I mean, I've been using my trucking. Grandma's, but I did put the air filter on the truck, and then I have been working on this all day. Dropped the tranny, put a different elbow on, a Tomei elbow, and then the tranny was pretty much grenaded, so this is like a replacement transmission. The old one is over here, and some other stuff. Trevor's gonna relocate the rack. He's gonna move it forward tomorrow. And then the diff and the axles is pretty much, I'd say they're pretty much done, because the axles, you can see right here, they're about like ready to like come apart and explode on both sides, and the diff has a lot of backlash and a lot of play. So yeah, that's been going on today. I don't know what else is gonna happen. Probably put this tranny in.
this transmission. This one is pretty much blown up. I may take it apart to see if the gears actually came apart, but he said it sounded like a box of rocks or something. So the car's back together. Took it for a test drive last night. No grinds, tranny's good. So good tranny in it and everything. We fixed a few issues with the downpipe, or not the downpipe, but the elbow that he had on there was, I think, an eBay one. It was cracked, so we replaced that. So this one over here, you can see it has like this nice crack somewhere in it. Yeah, see that crack around the edge? So it's pretty much cracked almost all the way around the weld. Is probably a few events away from actually separating from the flange and kind of dropping down and being a bigger issue. So now there's a Tomei one on there that we installed. I guess it's the one that was on Nicole's car before. Sounds a lot nicer. So you can see down there that Tomei one, and it looks like I need to tighten that bolt because we actually missed it. So this bolt right here, I'll tighten that up and it'll make it a lot better than it actually was. We missed the bolt.
Huh?
Why aren't you guys telling me about these trips to Sonic and stuff? Come on.
We didn't know you were down here, bud.
Man, Ronnie. Man.
He didn't even want to go.
They don't even look at this. They get Sonic.
He didn't even want to
Don't even tell me about it. So, what do you think of this, Ronnie?
I don't know.
Yeah, it drives and runs and everything now.
What were you saying about a missing bolt?
Oh no, I forgot to tighten this bolt up here because I couldn't see it.
Oh, okay.
And then we were like, they wanted to drive it, so we were in a hurry.
When did you guys finish it?
Like midnight.
Oh, that ain't bad.
Yeah.
Good tranny though, huh?
Yeah, they usually all are. Trevor's scared about the metal on the magnet. It's like automatic trannies have the same amount. Yeah, Starbucks.
What's with the socks?
So they don't, like, the fluid doesn't get all over the place because it sometimes boils. The bolt tight, it was loose. It's a good thing that I saw that it was not tight because it probably would have just like blown that gasket out in a few like events. But yeah, I'm gonna probably, what? Ronnie's like amazed by the pineapple.
Who lives in a pineapple under the sea? Adam LZ.
Oh man. So yeah, so pretty much we have all the suspension and the engine mount bolts undone. All that we need to do is lower it down, support the engine, and then drop the front subframe. Trevor's going to do a rack relocation on it, then we'll put it back in and it won't have any more binding issue, have a little bit better travel and everything. Last night we got Adam's car pretty much done, put the rack and all that stuff back in, the subframe. So took it for a little test drive and it works well. It has like a little shimmy, so something may be loose on either side. We're not sure yet. We need to get it done pretty quick though. And because tonight is the meet up in Denver. So tonight I'll probably be driving the S14 up because Trevor is going to be towing his car and Adam will be towing his car to the track, and we'll be doing some driving. I would be taking the G35 too, but I like my injury to my leg. I did some donuts in the G35 and then did some burnouts and stuff like that, and hopefully driving this will be okay. But pushing the clutch in, I guess this kind of strained the tendon right here. And when I was using the clutch, it's like there's like resistance. I could show you guys, but it doesn't look as bad as it did yesterday. But it definitely it just is like bruised, like the whole foot kind of thing. I thought it was like broken at first, but it's getting better. So it's better than it was yesterday, but you can definitely see it's bruised and everything. So I just kind of, when I use the clutch, I stretch that. Well, I think it was already kind of weak because of this whole ordeal right here, but it just kind of gave it an extra little reason to be mad. So I'm going to just drive that car up and just kind of hang out, because it would be nice to be able to drive, but you know, things happen, and I don't really want to have this like tendon, you know how tendons are, like it's already strained, so I don't want to have it like snap or do something like super crazy, because you know I don't have health insurance or anything like that. So yeah, so hopefully it looks like it's getting better. It was a lot blacker yesterday. Like, I mean, this was like black, but yeah, it's weird that I don't really understand why it happened, because this all happened right here a week ago. So, you know, I wasn't thinking anything about like it. And then like I got home after that and I was like, what happened? And I kind of thought about what I was doing, and I was like, the only thing I really did in like a kind of like motion to it would have been the clutch. So that's kind of how I came to that. But I'm gonna probably put spark plugs in the G35. It needs them. Locks on the S14. We need a way to lock it. They're still not working like correctly, so we'll have to find another lock set for it. But it is ready to go. These are plugs in the G35 finally, and no wonder it was missing on some cylinders. This was cylinder 1, and it looks like these plugs are pretty old, and definitely once you start to see like this discoloration in the ceramic, your plugs need to be changed. But these weren't, I think these are coppers. Let me see. Yeah, these are copper plugs, and like they need like platinums or iridiums. And I'm surprised. I like the condition of some of these. Especially that cylinder 1 plug was like the gap on them. I don't know who gapped these, but like look at the gap. That gap. And that one. I should measure them, but like that's a huge gap. Like that one, it looks like it's even more. Here's this one. Like it looks like they like pulled gap. I wonder what the gap is on these. Let me see if I can find a gauge. Yeah, I don't know where the spark plug gap gauge is right now. Just filled up on some E85, about 23 gallons. So, you know, when you're on corn, you like have to have extra so you can get home. But yeah, the S14 is looking good in the rain, and so is Adam's truck. Look at that thing. Trevor's gonna have to get one now because the platinum life. I had to make a pit stop because I had to go to the bathroom. This thing, the concrete roads, it's just like ding, 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 ding the whole time. So we let Adam and Trevor go ahead of us. We have the address, and we're going to be meeting up with them at the Nationwide meet. So I'll probably just follow Ty because my phone's about to die, and then you know, then we'll be at the meet. Probably clean up the car a little bit because it's getting dirty because it was raining and everything. But other than that, you know, hopefully nothing happens. Got the S14 back to the shop. My foot was kind of hurting because of that stretched tendon. But yeah, looks good. Nothing happened to it. Just, you know, just drives and stuff, especially when you're like on the highway with other people. With like a nice car is kind of sketchy because of like anything that could happen. Like there's deer, animals, like people that don't know how to drive, stuff like that. So I'm glad I made it back to the shop okay, and that the whole car show and everything went well. I'm still deciding if I want to take the G up tomorrow. I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to or not. I'm going to kind of play it by ear because I want to make sure I don't mess my foot up anymore, and that's going to be a lot of like footwork. So we'll see. I'll see what it looks like in the morning. If it's still like black and blue, I'll probably just not. I'll just go up there without the car. But if it looks really good, I'll probably take the car up there with my truck and yeah, and then drift it all day. So we'll see what happens. I'm not sure, but hopefully, you know, I'm kind of hoping this foot thing gets better. It has progressed, so it is getting a little bit better each day so far. But you know, I just drove a whole like night with a like a really hard clutch to push in that's in that SR. So we'll see what happens tomorrow morning. If it's really mad at me and angry, I'll probably just you know, go watch and help out and stuff like that. Then I'll kill my camera because I'm going to set it on a barrier right here when they come by, and yeah, we'll see what happens.